Hi, welcome back to the Power of Model Drawing. Now today we are going to look at P6 model drawing. So we are coming to the harder problems, but in every lesson that you will see today and the weeks to come is about model drawing. Alright, so let's look at example 1 and let's see how we draw out the problem. Now, Gopal and Henry were paid a total of $3,850 for a job they did. Gopal was paid $2,030 more than Henry. So how much was Gopal paid for the job? And then Gopal and Henry were paid based on the number of days they work. And Gopal worked 3 times as many days as Henry. And Gopal was paid $5 more than Henry every day. So how many days did Gopal work? Now this is a PSLE problem. So we are going to look at this PSLE problem and see how we solve. Alright, now even though it may look hard, but there's always something you can do, right? You can always draw the model because you see the word more than. So Gopal and Henry were paid altogether $3,850. So Gopal was paid more money. So you draw a longer rectangle for Gopal, and Henry is paid lesser money, right? And Gopal was paid $2,030. So this is the how much more, and the total money they were paid is $3,850. So even if you can't solve the problem in the exam, you can actually draw this model and you can work out a few steps already. So what do? You take the total and you minus 2030 and then you divide by 2 to get 2 units, right? So what you do is, alright, let's take the total. So 3850 minus 2030, right? You have 1820, which means that you cut away the longer part, right? You cut away the longer part, right, which is 2030, right? And then you get 1820, right? And you have 2 units. Can you see the 2 boxes there? And then you divide by 2. So when you divide by 2, you will get 910. So which means that 1 unit is 910. Alright, then how much does Gopal have? Alright, so let me just erase the line so that we can put the number inside. So Gopal has 910 plus 2030, and you will get $2,940. So Gopal has $2,940. Alright, and you actually got the first answer. So how much was Gopal paid for the job? $2,940. So you get 1 mark. Okay, now the lesson today is about model grouping. So what is model grouping? Alright, it means to make one group out of the model. Means the model can be like one group, right? As a whole is one group, or you can cut the model into groups, right? Which is what we are going to do today. We are going to cut this model into groups. So how do we do that? So let's read. Now Gopal and Henry were paid based on the number of days they work. So if you were to look at Gopal's rectangle, which is $2,940, that also represents how many days Gopal worked, right? And Henry was paid $910, so his rectangle represents how many days he worked. But we know that Gopal worked 3 times as many days as Henry. So you look at Gopal's rectangle, which is don't know how many days, but it's 3 times as many days. So I'm going to cut it into 3 groups. 3 times means 3 groups, or 3 times, and then 1 time is like 1 group. So I cut this Gopal's rectangle into 3 times, and then what do I see? Now you can see that 1 group, right? 1 group is here, right, which is 1 time. That represents don't know how many days. And Henry also has 1 time, which is over here. Alright, so you have 1 time and 1 time. Right, if you look at the red color box, so the 1 time and 1 time means same number of days. Alright, and then of course Gopal worked 3 times as many days as Henry. Alright, so once you understand this concept, then you can continue to find out how much is 1 group. Like Gopal has 3 times, right? You can see that Gopal has 3 times, or he worked 3 times as many days. So how much is 1 time? So you take 2,940 and you divide by 3. So 1 time is $980. So it means that 1 group of days, okay, 1 group is $980. And then how about Henry? Henry also worked for 1 time, right? 1 time, which is don't know how many days, that is $910. So what do we do next? Now you can see that Gopal worked same number of days as Henry, right over here. So 1 time is same number of days, but we don't know how many days. But can I find how much more was Gopal paid than Henry every day? So Gopal was paid $5 more, right, every day. Then you look at Gopal and Henry in the model. Now, Gopal was paid $980. All right, $980, which is for don't know how many days, but is one time. And Henry was paid $910, which is also for the same number of days, right? Equal number of days. And how much more did Gopal, right, get than Henry after working for the same number of days as Henry, right? So how much more did Gopal get than Henry? So he will get $70 more, which is for the same number of days that both of them have worked. Am I correct? So Gopal was paid $70 more for the same number of days that both of them have worked. Alright, so we are now going to find how many days is that. So you take $70, alright, and you divide by 1 day. Gopal was paid $5 more, which is 1 day, right? And that will give you 14. And what is 14? It means that 14 days. Alright, so once you know that one group is 14 days, then it means that over here, this is one group, 14. Henry also one group, which is one time, right? And Gopal worked 3 times as many days as Henry, so that will be 14, and then you times 3, right? So Gopal worked how many days? Gopal worked 14 times 3, and he has worked 42 days. Okay, so that's how you solve the problem using grouping, right? So you cut the model into groups, right? 3 groups, 3 times 3 groups, and then Henry will have 1 time, which is 1 group. Okay, now let's go on to another example, which is also very similar, but much more wordier. Wow. Okay, let's look at example 2. Now, Mrs. Ong made 1,080 curry puff and spring rolls. She made 432 more spring rolls than curry puff. And then she packed all the curry puff equally into big boxes and all the spring rolls equally into small boxes. So we don't know how many big boxes, we don't know how many small boxes. But we know there were 4 times as many small boxes as big boxes used. And the number of curry puff in one big box is 5 more than the spring rolls in one small box. So how many spring rolls did she make? And how many curry puff were there in one big box? Okay, now even if you don't know how to solve, you can always draw out the model because you see more than, right? She made more spring rolls than curry puff. So let's label spring rolls and curry puff. So she made more spring rolls than curry puff. Okay, something like this. Okay, got it? Alright, now let me just, okay, so that's your comparison model. Alright, and she made 432 more spring rolls. So you put 432, and altogether she made 1,080 curry puff and spring rolls. So that's your total, and you can find how many spring rolls and curry puff already. So what do? You take 1,080 and you minus 432, and then you divide by 2, right, to get 2 units, right, 2 parts, 2 equal parts. And that will be how many? Alright, so you divide by 2, so curry puff will be 324, right? And then the spring rolls will be 324, and then you plus 432. So the spring rolls will be 756. Right? So how many spring rolls did she make? And you got your answer, which is 756. Okay, now, so you can see it's quite similar to the earlier problem. So how many curry puff were there in one big box? Okay, now, same thing. You look at the question. She packed all the curry puff into big boxes. So this whole rectangle, which represent all the curry puff, it also represent all the boxes, all the big boxes. And then she packed all the spring rolls into small boxes, right? So this rectangle represent all the spring rolls, and it also represent all the small boxes. And we know that there were 4 times as many small boxes as big boxes used. So you look at the spring rolls, the red color box, it represents all the small boxes. So can you cut it into 4 times? So 4 times, or 4 groups. So if you cut it into 4 times, then what do you see? You can see that 1 time of the spring rolls will be the same as 1 time of the curry puff, right? I mean, if you look at the boxes, the boxes, 1 time of the small boxes. Okay, so where is the 1 time? Let me use a different color. So this is 4 times as many small boxes. So 1 time represent the small boxes, right? We don't know how many small boxes, but this is 1 time, and then of course you have a 2nd time, and then you have a 3rd time, and that's why you have a 4 times. 4 times as many small boxes. So if you look at the 1 time and the 1 time over here, which is the big boxes. So 1 time and 1 time tells you equal number. It means that you have equal number of small boxes over here, and you also have equal number of big boxes over here. Do you understand? Right? 1 time means you have equal number of small and big boxes. Alright, then if there are 4 times as many small boxes, then can you find how many spring rolls are there in 1 time? So you take 756 and divide by 4, and 1 time is 189 spring rolls, right? 1 time. Okay, now you look at 1 time of the 1 time of the small boxes, and you look at 1 time of the big boxes. So can you see how many more curry puff, right? How many more curry puff than spring rolls, right? So there are 324 curry puff, right, which is 1 time, and there are 189 spring rolls, which is also 1 time. So they represent equal number of boxes, right? So how many more curry puff than spring rolls are there? So you take 324 and you minus 189. So you will get how many more curry puff than spring rolls in the same number of small and big boxes. So 324 minus 189, you get 135 more. So you have 135 more curry puff than spring rolls in equal number of small and big boxes. Then you look at the question. The number of curry puff in 1 big box is 5 more than the spring rolls in 1 small box. Okay, so if there are 135 more curry puff, right, than spring rolls in the same number of boxes, then how many boxes are there? So 135, and you divide by 5 more, right? 1 big box is 5 more than 1 small box, right? So you divide by 5 more, and you will get how many? You will get 135 divided by 5, you will get 27 boxes, right? 27 boxes. So what does that mean? It means that your 1 time is how many boxes? 27 small boxes, and your 1 time here is 27 big boxes. So 1 time is what? Equal number, right? You have equal number of small and big boxes, all right? And there are 4 times as many small boxes. So 27 times 4, okay? And that's how you get how many small boxes are there altogether. But the question asks you to find how many curry puff were there in 1 big box. So if you have 27 big box, then how many curry puff are there in 1 big box? You take 324 and you divide by 27. And what do you get? 324 divided by 27, and that's how your answer is 12. So there are 12 curry puff in 1 big box. Okay, alright, so what's the lesson today? The lesson today is on model grouping. So we cut the model into groups, and then when you cut the model into groups, it means that you have 4 groups, right? 4 times or 4 groups, and then your curry puff is 1 time or 1 group. Then you look at 1 time, 1 time. What is 1 time and 1 time? It means equal number. Or 1 group, it means what? Equal number. So you have equal number of small boxes in 1 time, right? And you have equal number of big boxes also 1 time, which is the curry puff, right? 1 time, 1 time, so equal number. All right. Okay, now we come to the end of the first lesson on primary 6 model drawing. So for the rest of the lessons, we will be having 2 examples. All right, 2 examples, because every question is going to be quite challenging, so it will take time to go through the problem. So we won't be having 3 problems. We won't have 3 examples. We will have 2 examples, right? Because the 2 examples will take time to explain. So that's why we will just have 2 examples. Okay. All right. So stay tuned for the next coming P6 model drawing lesson. All right. So see you next round.